the Stone Age. They're already in the Stone Age. So I mean, so it's kind of hard to bomb them back into the Stone Age since they're already there. So
just picturing his strategy like to the Taliban. Please meet at this location at this time and this date. Very important meeting to take place.
Well, doesn't every every U.S. president announce on the air like this is the day we're going to withdraw our troops? This is the day we're going to bomb somebody, which kind of gives away the whole point of the element of surprise. So I guess if I was a leader, I guess I wouldn't tell the enemy specifically what we're going to do because that would obviously.
See, now Teddy, that's what I'm talking about.
I didn't go to military college, Dave, but I mean, it just seems common sense wise, True. So
you didn't go to college. Yeah, you didn't go to any college. Yeah, I mean, Jesus. All right. So that was the Hitler reference.
Yeah, I guess being a world leader, if you're going to do something bad to your opponents. Just be vague and ambiguous, Dave. Don't actually tell them specifically what you're going to do, and don't tell them on the day you're going to do it.
Like Hitler,
because they might be ready for you.
So wait, so if you're being interviewed, like you're having a press conference, Ted, are you considering bombing Russia? What? Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I mean,
say what?
Not tomorrow. That's for sure.
No, not at all. I love those guys.
Yeah, fuck no.
They're my favorite.
Actually, I just sent him an invite for a party.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so that
was a choline party.
Yeah. So somebody once told me, and I thought this was pretty funny. You know what the great thing about Hitler is? He killed Hitler. I thought that I couldn't because it was so funny because they said it to me and I'm just like, yeah, what was the great thing about Hitler? I mean, where are you gonna? How could you possibly? But yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So what's your tip on Napoleon? Did he do the same thing?
Well, I think Napoleon was like 5'3" in real life, and I don't know if you knew this.
Don't be short.
But he actually knows. Well, if you're a world leader, it does help to be. George. George Washington was like 6'3"? I didn't know that. George Washington was 6'3".
I love George Washington.
And the funny thing, back in the 1770s, where the height of the average man was like 5'6", and a guy's 6'3". So I think being tall naturally exudes leadership naturally. kind of like Tony Robbins. He's like 6'8" because he's got giantism, right? He's got some thyroid problem or something. Like
he does.
He does. Yeah. That's why he's all weird looking. So.
I don't know. He seemed pretty reasonable. You know what? It's funny. I just watched Shallow Hal. He didn't seem. No, he didn't seem like Andre the Giant.
No, he's not like that type of thyroid problem. But he's got some type of thyroid issue where I think he's like 6'7". So I mean, when someone's like tall, I think people biologically naturally look up to somebody who's actually taller or bigger than them because that's just biology, right? Just like a woman always wants to date a guy who's taller than them because they think, oh, this guy's going to protect me and stuff. They're going to date a guy who's like 4'11" or something. So.
Dude, I dated a girl in high school who was on a basketball team, and she was taller than me. Man, she was. Oh man, that was cool. It was so weird, man. She was like 6'3".
Yeah.
And it was weird, but it was cool, man.
You had to go up on her?
Did she block your shot? Did she block your shot at any point?
Actually, she did not block my shot. I scored often.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So you have no Napoleon tip. You're not. I mean, I didn't understand what you.
Yes, the Napoleon tip is
don't be short.
No. The Napoleon tip is so at the end of his life, I believe he was exiled to the island of Elba, which is like basically once he got removed from his command. I think he got poisoned. So if you're a leader, just don't get poisoned. So always have a food taster at your disposal. So that's my tip for Napoleon. Yeah, don't ever eat your own food, Dave. You eat my food, and then if you live, I'll eat the food.
Okay, so here's the thing: when Teddy becomes president, and you're looking through the want ads, or you're online and LinkedIn or whatever, and you see food taster White House, don't do that job. I'm like, okay, well, here, Teddy, I got something for Napoleon for you right here. Okay, Napoleon was a great leader, very militaristic. At one point, he invaded the Iberian Peninsula and named his brother the King of Spain. Okay, let me ask you this question. What family members will you start appointing to various positions in the government?
Ooh, that's a good question. Since I don't have a family, I guess I would have to appoint you.
I decline. No, I accept. I will literally do anything.
Well, you have no choice because
food taster.
Because
I will do almost anything.
Because you might be executed if you don't.
Is it
just I mean that's just if I was an authoritarian government, but this is a democracy, of course.
You were about to say a
dictatorship.
Dictocracy.
Dictocracy. What is that? That's just when the president's a total dick.
Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, you have no family members that you would want to appoint to anywhere or anything like that.
I'd rather have some close friends or associates appointed to positions of authority. But the funny thing is, when you appoint friends or family members, it's almost like politics these days, where it reeks of nepotism because you're appointing because you're appointing people. It's like appointing Hunter Biden to be what is this 3-star general or something. So I mean,
dude, what is this problem you have with Hunter Biden?
No, I got no problem with Hunter Biden.
And by the way, I saw his art. It's not stick figures. It doesn't suck. Honestly. I mean, it's a little abstract and a little fucking weird, but I mean, his art doesn't suck. I mean, clearly.
How much is it selling for?
Who gives a shit?
What about is it the mayor of New York that tried to appoint his
He
brother?
did, yeah. The mayor of New York, this Eric Adams guy who just got elected, I think he tried to appoint his brother at some high-level position, and there was a big outcry because obviously the brother's not qualified to do.
But the pay was like $200,000.
Yeah,
but then they ruled that he can only make like $1. I think it was the.
Oh, so he can have the job and make $1?
Yeah.
And his brother said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it."
Well, that's
I don't know.
Well, that's like saying that that's when, like, for example, okay, here's a good question, guys. So the president of the United, how much does the president of the United States make per year?
200,000.
Yeah, something around 200,000.
No,
$250,000.
$425,000.
Yeah.
$425,000.
That was my next guess.
That's what the president makes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that so you could correct me, Ted. I knew exactly what the answer
So here's
was.
here's a good question. Why would a politician, any politician like Trump or whoever, spend millions or not billions of dollars to run for a job that pays $400,000 a year? That's like me spending $500,000 to get a job that pays $40,000 a year. So
Ted,
why would somebody?
It's pretty
do that?
obvious. So you can get blowjobs in the Oval Office. I mean, fuck yeah, man. I mean, that's got to be great, right?
It's like Deshaun Watson territory.
What? No, not Deshaun. No, man. These chicks want to blow you. Yeah, you don't have to trick them into like pushing their hands down or whatever. Allegedly happened there. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Dude, come on. You know what? If they paid me nothing, I would want to be the president.
Sure.
I mean, that would be awesome.
Oh, I do it for free. But why do powerful?
Ted, you just fucked. Oh my God. Okay, folks, he didn't mean that.
But
he wants the full 400,000.
Of course I do. I need the money. But why? Well, let me ask you this: why do powerful people who are millionaires or billionaires apply for a job that pays $400,000 a year?
Because
Blowjobs.
yeah, it's just got to be blowjobs.
Yeah,
I mean, that's 90% of what people do 90% of what guys do every day is blowjobs. Right? I mean, literally, you're driving down the street, right? You're driving down the street. You look over at the car, right? You're just like, you're rocking out. You got your thing. You look over and you're like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'd let her blow me.
Yeah,
okay.
but is there such a thing? You're too famous to get a blowjob. That's the problem. So it's almost like it's like if you're a nobody, it's probably easier to get a blowjob than okay, like Tiger Woods. We all know what Tiger Woods looks like. If Tiger Woods walked out in the street, remember Tiger Woods? He got screwed with that scandal. I guess he had sex with
because he was having tons of blowjobs.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is Tiger Woods. I mean, he's the most recognizable athlete in the world. So I'm just saying sometimes it's more detrimental if you're super famous because you can't go anywhere and you can't do anything. You know.
So you feel if you and Tiger Woods walked into a room that you would be far more likely to get a blowjob than Tiger Woods?
Well, I'd be far more likely not to get caught getting a blowjob than Tiger Woods because I'm nobody and Tiger Woods is somebody.
I mean, I guess. I mean, yes, I have to admit, you are nobody. You're nothing. You're kind of useless.
Okay, let's not go. Let's not put earmuffs. Earmuffs.
Hey, Ted, don't get down on yourself. You're not a nobody.
Earmuffs.
Don't shoot too high, Ted. You know what? The world needs ditch diggers too. Okay. All right. So, Teddy, let's start off. I got a little list here. So, Abraham Lincoln, considered to be the greatest president of all time. He's number one.
Sure.
What are you going to do to drop him in second place? How do you outdo ending a civil or winning a civil war, reuniting a
Emancipation
country?
Proclamation, ending the Civil War.
Okay. Do better.
Just don't get assassinated. I mean, don't go to Ford Theater. Have better security.
So
where's his bodyguard?
So just live.
Yeah, just live. 5-year plan. Don't die.
Jesus Christ. I have heard that. Oh, my God. I've heard that so many times. But you know what? Honestly, I've known Ted for like 15, 20 years, so he's done a pretty good job of his 5-year plan. Yeah, he has. Okay. You talked about George Washington, right? So I don't know if you know this, but as the first president, he set a lot of precedents when he was the first president. Number one, he appointed a cabinet to help him. Number two, he made the president commander-in-chief. And they wanted, at one point, after he was there for, like, I think his second term, they wanted to appoint him a lifetime appointment. He said no. And then finally, I don't know if you guys know this one, he came up with the idea of calling the president Mr. President. They wanted to have some elaborate, like, your Lord blowjobness, or I don't, whatever it was.
Prince Andrew. Speaking of blowjobs, that blowjob cost him $14 million, by the way, Dave.
Oh, wait, okay, is there a cost too much? Is there a price too high for a blowjob?
Yes, $14 million.
I mean, yeah, you'd expect like a blowjob, maybe a thumb in the ass. I don't know, but yeah, okay. So, Teddy, you get into the White House. How are you going to change things up and set some precedents? What precedents are you going to set if you get elected president?
Well, I think first of all, we need term limits, obviously, because we're talking about politicians who have been there for 34. Joe Biden, I mean, I have no qualm with Joe Biden either way, but he's been there for 50 years.
I don't know.
He's been there for 50 years. The man's been there for 50 years. So here's a good question. Here's a good litmus test, guys. Would you let Joe Biden, he's your designated driver. You have to drive cross-country from California to New York, which is 3,000 miles. You cannot drive the car. Joe Biden is your designated driver the whole time. Do you trust him if you fall asleep in the car that he's not going to crash the car? He's going to run the car off the road, flip the car over because he's 100 years old?
Well, this is bullshit. What if you want to hear a song and you want Ray Charles to play? You're going to trust him to drive you across country?
Of course not.
But I mean, that's such an arbitrary thing. You can't just say I don't want Joe Biden to be my president because I think he's a shitty driver and he might fall asleep because he's 1,000.
Well, okay. So for example, when Hillary Clinton ran for president, I don't know if you knew this, but she had not driven a car in 30 years. So we're talking about people who are out of touch with reality, who are out of touch with the mainstream of America. So if you can't do the basic things that everyday Americans can do, how can we trust them to empathize with everyday Americans?
Wait a minute, you're a shitty fucking driver. You can stay awake and you're a terrible driver.
I can still drive the car though, but I'm still driving a car.
But you drive it terribly. I literally told everybody here, I will never let you drive a car that I am in again. You're fucking dangerous.
That's fine, but the point I'm trying to make is that we're talking.
You shouldn't be president?
Yeah. Okay. If somebody has not driven a car in 30 years, who sits in the backseat of a car and somebody drives them around exclusively, they're not fit to be president because they don't know, they don't know what it's like to be an everyday American. If somebody's 90 years old and let's say the average age of the American, what's the average age of a person in America? I have no idea.
13.
70.
Okay.
I don't know. The average age of someone is not 70.
97. No, let's just say the average.
Are you talking about?
I think it's 60, 65. It's got to be in the 60s.
What the fuck are you talking about? The average age of a person?
Of an American. The average age of a person in America today.
You know what? The average age of a person in
the
America
US?
today has to be about 36, 37. You're not talking about life. You're not talking about life expectancy.
No, I'm talking about the average age of everybody in America right now.
37.
What's the average age?
37, 38. Come on, Dave. What the fuck?
It says median. I
Median.
Googled average age. It says median age, which is different, but it says 38.1.
Yeah,
That
okay.
could be the average age.
So my point is,
Dave,
but
hold
don't
on
we
a
have
second.
the highest? Don't we have the highest infant mortality rate too because of our healthcare systems? Fix it, Ted. Fucking fix it. Fucking fix it.
I'm
Ted.
going to do that right after I say this. So listen. So if the average age of the person in America is 38 years old, you can't have a person who's double that age leading those people
Median
because they're
age.
out of touch with reality. They're out of touch with reality. You can't have.
Hey,
You
Dave.
Median
Dave.
is
Bad
different
news.
than
Median,
average.
median is average. Just so you know. Yeah.
Median's average.
Somebody failed sixth grade.
So if someone's sitting on the Supreme Court and they're 95 years old because it's a lifetime appointment and they die on the Supreme Court, they still live in the 1920s.
Well, dude, that's the most fucked up thing in the world. Why would anybody?
You can't have somebody.
Why would anybody in any part of any government get a lifetime appointment?
Welcome to America.
Fantasyland. I think we covered that.
Yeah, Fantasyland. So
Okay.
Absolutely, so.
No, all right, that's good. So
That's my point.
you've got some precedents to set.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's awesome. All right. Let's go to the other way. Okay. And then I'll let you talk a little bit more with your fantasy, list or whatever. James Buchanan. Absolutely unanimously considered the worst president of all time.
No, I thought that was Warren Harding.
No. Warren Harding was like a fucking brain surgeon compared to James Buchanan. No. I'll tell you why. He was the president before Lincoln, and he basically didn't do shit as the country was like splitting down the middle.
So he sounds like all the presidents right now. He just do a damn thing. He didn't do shit.
What? No. The presidents we have right now are moderate pieces of garbage. This is the worst president of all
worst,
time,
so-
okay? So he does nothing, okay? And also, Ted, and I don't know if this is a thing, a confirmed bachelor. Remember that phrase?
which is code for he's a raging homosexual. Obviously.
Yes, I mean that's Dave. You might not even have you ever heard confirmed bachelor? Have you ever heard that phrase?
No.
Okay, so Dave's he's under the median age. He's a child. Okay,